Hey everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking vegetarian. We're going to be cooking Imam Baildi, a dish that originally came to Greece from Turkey. Imam means priest in Turkish, and the story goes that the priest fainted when he showed the amount of olive oil that was used to make this dish. And indeed, we're going to be using a bit of olive oil because this dish falls under the category of ladera. So ladera in Greek means made with olive oil. And Imam Baildi is an aubergine based dish and it's absolutely yummy. Let's have a look at the ingredients. So for the recipe, and this recipe is for 2 hungry people, we will need 2 aubergines, we will need 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, 3 fat cloves of garlic sliced, 2 medium onions sliced like this, 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, a good handful of chopped flat leaf parsley, feta cheese, Greek olive oil, salt, pepper and a little bit of granulated sugar. Ready to make a start. So traditionally what people used to do, and that's why the priest fainted, is they used to fry the aubergine. We're not going to be frying the aubergine, we're going to be putting the aubergine to cook in the oven. So the first thing that we need to do is preheat the oven at 180 degrees centigrade. And the next step we need to take is this. So I've washed my aubergines, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bits out and cut this off. Okay, not too much, a little bit. And then I'm going to take my knife and carefully cut it in the middle. I've scored my aubergines now, just like this. And with a spoon, I'm going to start taking the inside, the flesh out. And this needs to be done carefully because you don't want to damage the flesh underneath. And all this inside of the aubergine, the flesh, I'm going to keep on one side as I'm going to be using it for the filling. So I've done 2 aubergines already, little boats, and I've used a small spoon. I found that a small spoon might be easier, so give it a try and use a smaller spoon if you need to. And now I'm going to show you what we do with the aubergine. So as I said before, we're going to score it carefully, watch your fingers, and then with a spoon, really holding it tight, I'm going to remove the inside. Okay, just like this, always being careful not to damage the skin. So I'm holding it tight. Here we are, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and the aubergines are ready to go in the oven for 40 minutes at 180 degrees centigrade. I absolutely love this dish. If you love aubergine also, you have to make it. It's very simple but super yummy. So now we're going into the second phase of our dish, and I have here a pan. I'm going to put the pan on over medium heat, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Greek olive oil, of course. And you need olive oil for this dish. Not a lot, but you need enough. Aubergine and olive oil is just great. And then on here, I'm going to add my sliced onions. And I'm going to leave them for about 5 minutes until they start getting soft. So while the onions are doing their thing, we're going to go and pay attention to the flesh of the aubergine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of it on our chopping board. And what we want to do is chop it in smaller chunks because nobody wants to eat this. Okay? So very carefully. And you don't have to be precise, it just needs to be smaller chunks. I love the smell of onions cooking, it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so our onions had about 5 minutes on medium heat. The next thing we're going to do is add our chopped garlic and give this a mix. And then the star of the show, the aubergine. So we're going to add all of this in here. Everything. and give it a good mix. Come and have a look. Doesn't that look wonderful? Okay, next thing, tomato puree. Mix that in. Oh, you can smell the garlic and the onion. Wonderful, wonderful flavors. Okay, then next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a teaspoon of granulated sugar, because we're adding the tin tomatoes. We want to make sure that the dish is not too acidic, so the sugar helps us with that. And then the tin of tomatoes. Look at this. Doesn't that look wonderful? Okay, make sure everything is mixed well together. And we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And of course, you can try and to your own taste, and lots of black pepper everywhere. Okay, and we're gonna turn down the heat to low and leave it to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. So before we finish, I'm going to turn the heat down, and I'm going to add in here a tablespoon of water just to help the sauce a little bit. Tablespoon of water. That's it. I can leave it now to do its own thing for 15 to 20 minutes. We're ready. The filling had 20 minutes, so I'm gonna switch it off the heat. And my aubergines are out of the oven. They had 40 minutes. Come and have a look at this. So the aubergines, beautiful. They've held their shape, but they're nice and soft and a little bit crispy. And here's the filling. Beautiful and soft. And as you can see, the water has evaporated, which is great. The only thing we need to do is add the parsley. And I love parsley in this dish. Look at that. Amazing. So what you can do is make sure that you add more pepper if you like, and make sure that the salt is okay for your own taste. And we're ready. What we're gonna do now is the final stage of this process, which is to fill our aubergines. It is really a vegetarian delight these days. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm gonna fill them up to the top. The oven is still on, so I haven't switched the oven off, because these little beauties will go back in the oven for 30 minutes until the feta cheese that we're going to put on top melts and everything is beautiful and super soft. So all the mixture, don't be scared to fill them up to the top. I finished filling all my aubergines. As you can see, I've used all of the filling, and look how beautiful they look. And now I'm gonna take about 100 grams of feta cheese, and I'm just gonna carefully sprinkle on top of the aubergines, just like this. Be careful because the dish is hot. Feta cheese, when it melts in the oven, is absolutely delicious. So about 100 grams. I love feta. This is my downfall. Beautiful. Final touches, a little flurry of black pepper. You know how much I love black pepper. And the final thing, about a tablespoon of olive oil across the aubergines. Come and have a look at this. Doesn't that look amazing? In the oven, back in the oven for 30 minutes. We'll check them after 30 minutes, make sure everything has melted, and then we're gonna see what the final dish looks like. We're ready. The dish has come out of the oven and it looks absolutely fantastic. Come and have a look at this. So the aubergine has 30 minutes, and look at these crispy bits of feta. Amazing. You have to admit, it looks fantastic. So the only thing you need to do now is let it cool down a little bit and serve with a nice salad and a little bit of crusty bread, just to mop up the any juices. So let's have a look. I'm gonna try for you. It's delicious, very soft, lovely. And you know, will please everybody. If you love aubergine in particular, it's fantastic. Okay. Salty and sweet. The aubergine is sweet. Imam Baildi, an amazing vegetarian dish, and I think you should give it a go. It's totally delicious. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time for some more Greek cooking. Take care!